On Whirlpool presents ESPNcricinfo T20 timeout powered by Dell. We're looking ahead to the game between the Delhi Capitals and the Rajasthan Royals. Joining me shortly, Aijt Agarkar and Dasgupta. Right, gentlemen, you know the drill. First of 5 statements as we preview this game. Aijt, we're saying first up that Josh Butler, Steve Smith and Sanju Samson should be Rajasthan's top 3. They, of course, opened with Ben Stokes last game.
Yeah, it was a bit strange. We don't quite know. We'll have to wait and see if he's going to bat there for the rest of the tournament or not. But clearly doesn't look the right sort of fit at this point. Someone who's not had any cricket for a while, hasn't had any practice being in quarantine for the last few days. They've got to get Samson bat at number 3. He's done well at the start of the tournament, be it just a couple of innings in Sharjah. And that should be the ideal top 3, Smith, Butler and Samson.
Yeah, we saw it go wrong in that last game, Deep, where they lost their big 3 overseas guys in the power play. Would you still want to go ahead with that, or do you agree with Aijt that Samson has to bat in the top 3?
Yes, Samson has to bat at 3. Either he opens or bats at 3. Now, I'm still thinking about Smith at 4, but that would mean Ben Stokes at 5. So I might just change that now that Ben Stokes is available. And I go with Sanju Samson and Butler to open, and Smith at 3 and Ben Stokes at 4.
Yeah, sounds a good team. Let's go to our next point. Rishabh Pant's injury has disrupted Delhi's team combination. Deep?
To a certain extent, yes, because if you look at someone like Alex Carey and Hetmyer, they are like replacement. They're like very similar in nature. Hetmyer might be a little more adept with boundary hitting, but when you look at Pant and Rahane, I think they are very different kind of players. Yeah, I mean that has kind of derailed their philosophy or their playing the way they play their batting innings.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Dhawan and Rahane, Aijt, but on the Hetmyer and Alex Carey point, you think they're like for like, as Deep said, but Hetmyer had a few games and he just started teeing off and now finds himself out. It looks like batting's getting a little more challenging with the pitches slowing up. So is this disrupting Delhi in more ways than one, bringing in a new batter and Alex Carey?
Yeah, I'm sure it has. Because Hetmyer won them that game, the previous one. I know Ashwin was the man of the match in that game, but Hetmyer's innings made a big difference to what the total eventually finished. So Pant's such an important player for them. Yeah, it is. It's never nice especially when the team's doing well, you're winning. You don't want too many changes, and that's been the good part about Delhi or Mumbai. With the teams that are winning, generally don't. I'm sure it's not fatal because of the kind of wins that they've had at the start, but they like Pant back as soon as they could.
All right. Well, let's get into our next point. Hetmyer, of course, got all those runs against Rajasthan. So this is the reverse fixture. Let's see if he plays this one. But our point that Deep's already touched upon is that Ajinkya Rahane and Shikhar Dhawan in the top 3 is a bit of a problem for Delhi. As we look at their numbers, Aijt, in the first 10 overs, strike rate a concern, dot balls are concern. Can Rajasthan do something? Can Delhi do something rather to change that?
I don't know what they could do. But I've got to agree. I don't think they both fit in their ideal 11. That's the tough part. But you want to when you asked him to come from Rajasthan Royals to Delhi and you can't play him, and then opportunity sort of comes through. You try and fit him in, but I don't think that's their ideal 11. Rahane likes opening the innings, which at the moment he can't. You've got to still open with Prithvi Shaw, so it's a tough one for them. But You kind of understand why they did it.
Yeah. The other thing is Shreyas Iyer also seems to be playing a similar pace, Deep. And could it be fair that if Dhawan goes early, then maybe Rahane can come in, and if Prithvi goes early, then they could change things up, because it does look like you pointed out, Dhawan and Rahane together batting for a long period of time can be a challenge.
Yeah, I mean that won't be a bad idea at all, as you mentioned. I mean, if it's Shikhar, then Ajinkya comes in. For Prithvi, it's Shreyas who comes in. Can look into that as a strategy as well. The other thing is just letting them know, both of them, both Shikhar and Ajinkya, senior players, just have a chat with them and say, you know what, let's look at those dot balls. Yes, you're getting those boundaries, maybe couple. I mean, Ajinkya got a few boundaries out there the other night. I mean, they're senior enough to understand that as well.
All right, let's go to our next point and discuss some of Rajasthan's bowling options. And we're saying that they should persist with Jaydev Unadkat, who got back into the team last game. And ended up on the winning side against Sunrisers. Deep, would you stay with Jaydev Unadkat?
Listen, I'm going to look at that surface. The last game, as you mentioned, the ball was stopping a bit, wasn't coming through that much. On surfaces like that, Jaydev Unadkat and his kind of bowling has a lot of merit. You can play him on those surfaces, but with the pitches tiring out now, second half of the season, more often than not, you will get surfaces like that. And I think that there is a lot of merit in playing Jaydev Unadkat on those surfaces.
Aijt?
Yeah, I think it's going to be condition specific. That's why I think they got him in. If the pitches keep getting tired and you can see there is going to be a little bit of grip, then he suddenly becomes a different bowler than what we've seen otherwise. So I think they've understood that, and they probably that's why they got him in. So
All right. What about Jofra Archer, standout bowler for the Rajasthan Royals? Ajit, we're saying that he should bowl 3 overs in the park. Thoughts?
no, you just can't. I mean, I'm glad he's taking the new ball. It'll again depend on how the situation evolves. If he gets 3 or 4 wickets in the first 2 overs, then by all means you try and bowl him another over. But they need him in the middle to bowl at least an over, and certainly at the death with his kind of skill set. So 3 overs might be a bit too much unless everything's going for them and there are lots of wickets that have fallen. But no, I think he is their strike bowler, and you need him at different stages to attack.
Deep?
Hmm. Oh, well, I agree with Ajit. I mean, you can't just go in with this set mindset of bowling him 3 overs. But if the opposition is top heavy and they've lost early wickets, then obviously you would want to carry on with Jofra for another over. So, yeah, condition specific, opposition specific. I guess you decide based on that.
All right. Thank you very much, Deep Dasgupta, Aijt Agarkar, for looking ahead to this game between Delhi and Rajasthan on Whirlpool Presents ESPN Cricinfo T20 Timeout, powered by Dell.